Attempts and endeavors. Section 1512C2 covers both substantive obstruction offenses and attempts to obstruct justice. Under general principles of attempt law, a person guilty of an attempt when he has the intent to commit a substantive offense and takes an overt act that constitute a substantial step towards that goal. See United States versus Resendez-Ponce, 549 U.S. 106-107, 2007. Quote, the act must be substantial in that it was strongly corroborative of the defendant's criminal purposes, unquote. United States versus Pratt, 351 F3D 131 135, 4th Circuit, 2003. While, quote, mere abstract talk, unquote, does not suffice, any, quote, concrete and specific, unquote, acts that corroborate the defendant's intent constitute a, quote, substantial step, unquote. United States versus Irving, 665 F. 3rd, 1184, 1198 to 1205, 10th Circuit, 2011. Thus, quote, soliciting an innocent agent to engage in conduct constituting an element of the crime, unquote, may qualify as a substantial step. Model Penal Code 5012G, see United States versus Lucas, 499 F. 3rd, 769, 781, 8th Circuit, 2007. The Omnibus Clause of 18 U.S.C. 1503 prohibits an, quote, endeavor, unquote, to obstruct justice, which sweeps more broadly than Section 1512's attempt provision. See United States versus Sampson, 898 F3D 287, 302, 2nd Circuit, 2018. United States versus Leisure, 844 F. 2nd, 1347, 1366 to 67, 8th Circuit, 1988, collecting cases. Quote, it is well established that an obstruction of justice offense is complete when one corruptly endeavors to obstruct or impede the due administration of justice. The prosecution need not prove that the due administration of justice was actually obstructed or impeded, unquote. United States versus Davis, 854 F. 3rd, 1276, 1292, 11th Circuit, 2017. Internal quotient marks omitted. B. Investigative and evidentiary considerations. After the appointment of the special counsel, this office obtained evidence about the following events related to potential issues of obstruction of justice involving the president. A. The president's January 27, 2017 dinner with former FBI Director James Comey, in which the president reportedly asked for Comey's loyalty, one day after the White House had been briefed by the Department of Justice on contacts between former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and the Russian ambassador. B. The president's February 14, 2017 meeting with Comey, in which the president reportedly asked Comey not to pursue an investigation of Flynn. C. The president's private request to Comey to make public the fact that the president was not the subject of an FBI investigation and to lift what the president regarded as a cloud. D. The president's outreach to the Director of National Intelligence and the directors of the National Security Agency and the Central Intelligence Agency about the FBI's Russia investigation. E. The president's stated rationales for terminating Comey on May 9, 2017, including statements that could not be reasonably understood as acknowledging that the FBI's Russia investigation was a factor in Comey's termination, and F. The president's reported involvement in issuing a statement about the June 9, 2016 Trump Tower meeting between Russians and senior Trump campaign officials that said the meeting was about adoption and admitted that the Russians had offered to provide the Trump campaign with derogatory information about Hillary Clinton. Taking into account that information and our analysis of applicable statutory and constitutional principles, as discussed below in Volume 2, Section 3, Infra, We determined that there was a sufficient factual and legal basis to further investigate potential obstruction of justice issues involving the president. Many of the core issues in an obstruction of justice investigation turn on an individual's actions and intent. We therefore requested that the White House provide us with documentary evidence in its possession on the relevant events. We also sought and obtained the White House's concurrence in our conducting interviews with White House personnel who had relevant information. And we interviewed other witnesses who had pertinent knowledge, obtained documents on a voluntary basis when possible, and used legal process where appropriate. These investigative steps allowed us to gather a substantial amount of evidence.